not a lot of light out here. I thought there was going to be more light, but alas, we do not. Hey there! I see we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see my fantastic students who are hard studying people, ready to learn and get some stuff done. Few things before we get started. Hey, Ruby, good to see you on here. I'm glad. See, Ruby, you're the only person that's here for fun. Everyone else is like, why do I have to be here? No. So what I want to do for the students that were like want to know the answers to the practice exams. Okay, so if you go to professorwolters.com, no, you can't see it up there. If you go up there and you go to professorwolters.com, actually, I put up the two practice exams already that I went through, and I explained the answers so you have an idea of what the answers should be and how they should be set up. So you have that. And I think those are going to be the most helpful for you going through this. This is just me to answer your questions if you have any. I've got a bunch of emails, and I'm going to kind of go through some of the questions that a lot of people had. So I'll have those and go through that. But in general, I mean, you have those videos already to watch. Okay, they're in your announcements as well. Go there. The Turbo playlist, go through that. All that's on professorwolters.com. Excuse me, it's the first blog on the top. I'm going to leave it up for anybody there. Okay, so some things to talk about before the exam. Hey, Tyler, good to see you, buddy. Green buddy, good to see you back. Payleen, nice to see you. Amir, Azia, nice to see you. Oji, hey, buddy. Saeed, JG, Green, Ryan Silver, up there too. Glad I could help out with some questions. So, some basics for the exam. Look, this exam is 50 multiple choice questions. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I'm trying to help you out. But I will tell you, what will make this exam tough is if you don't actually study. It's how you take it. Because what will happen is you have plenty of time to take it. The 80 minutes. I mean, when I do this exam face to face, most students, I mean, seriously, down to 45 minutes. Some or less. There's always like one student that stays almost till the end, maybe like an hour or so. But most people are already gone because I make the exam for a 50-minute class. And so it's to be done in the 50 minutes, but I give the people the extra 80 minutes in case they need that. If people have extra stuff, they have that. So do not worry, okay? You will have plenty of time to do it. The only way you're going to mess up with your time is if you go through the exam and you try to answer every single question from the book or from the video. So you really do need to watch the videos, go through the slides beforehand. You know, that study thing, you really, really should do that. It'll make a big difference. Hey, Max. Hey, Bridget. Mia. Good to see you. Kevin. Jacob. Evan. A pleasure. Steve A. Good to see you. But really, I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing out there because this is where I've seen people have problems before. When I used to have like open book exams, people wouldn't finish on time because they spend so much time thinking, oh, it'll just be in the book. I'll find it there. And you've got, 4 chapters worth of stuff to kind of look for it. So do be careful. Paylee, there is no extra credit questions on the exam. We do not have any extra credit questions. That's from years ago when I did that. We don't have any extra credit questions now. However, I will say this is every time I've been having to do stuff on Compass, there's been some kind of mess up or something like that. So the right answer doesn't get listed as the right answer. So when things come back, I will have to go through it. And I think last spring we had 2 exams that were on Compass, and I had to give some points back. So there's no extra credit, but if there's anything wrong, I give people the points, no question. Like I'll give extra points on for stuff like that. So everybody be okay there. Aviv, hey buddy, good to see you. I will be talking about the 4 E's here in a little bit. Just some other backup stuff. So there are no the answer key. It's in the video. Like the videos, I go through the answers and explain it there. So you can just kind of go through there and get it that way. If you look at the 2015 video, you can actually see on the side like how I have the text going by here. There'll actually be the text will be going by with the answers, so you can do that. The second exam, the 2014 video, I only filmed a few days ago, so I to get it out in time for people, I didn't get a chance to put the answers in like the ABCs, but I say ABC, so it's in there, so that's where it is. Or you can just look on like Course Hero or Koofers or something like that because they'll have those old exam things there to study, but you could just watch the video and learn because here's one of the mistakes people make when you only study from an exam. You learn the answers A for this question, and then when your professor's a jerk and they go, the question is this, but then they switch one word. The question is not this, and you're like, oh, that's the B answer, and you go to B and it's wrong because they switched it. Make sure you're really reading the question and stuff like that. Now, I'm not trying to trick anybody with these exams. the questions are very straightforward, so you do have that. So I'm not going to worry about that. Skyla, I'm able to see the quiz answers for quizzes 1 through 3, but quiz 4 is not available. Can we get access to that? I wrote to eLearning and to ask them what's going on because I have such a big class. I have basically, I can send out the announcements. That's about all I get permission to do. So I will write them. I will do that right now. I'll write. Well, I wrote them again, but I'll remind them like, hey. So I'm writing that email right now as we speak. Just got to get the right people on here. Because every time I send anything out, I send it to 3 people. Quiz for release corrections. BADM 320. So I'm just writing them saying, hey, could you please let students see what they got wrong on quiz 4 for BADM 320, like they did on the other quizzes. Thank you, Mark. Okay, so I've sent that off, so maybe we'll get an answer back before, but it is, okay, it's 8 o'clock in Champaign. I'm going to guess everybody's in bed by now, or they should be, because, you know, we're old people, and we need all that extra bedtime. But so I sent that out, so hopefully that'll get opened up. If you were questioning about the questions, probably one question people had the most was about the 4 E's. I actually just filmed a new video yesterday about the day before about the 4 E's. So I'm going to edit that tonight and put it up to have a better explanation for it. And I'm going to go through that in a sec. That's actually one of the questions I want to have, but I got to do all the admin stuff here real quick. So Tyler, right now I'm having a Sioux City cream soda. It's from South Dakota. Spoilers, you'll never guess where I am. Pretty good, actually. Anyway, I gotta get I have to get my head just right here because my kids are inside and they're beating the crap out of each other like kids do, and I didn't think you all wanted to do that. That's why you moved out of your parents' house. You'd have to listen to your brothers and sisters fight. Anyway, so Skyla, hopefully they'll get back to us and those things can open up. Champa, good to see you. Let's see. Will, thank you very much. No, Caleb, this is not the Coke I always speak about. I'm in South Dakota, so I wanted to try something South Dakota, so I figured Sioux City. It's close enough to local. Though what's funny is it's Sioux City, but you know I didn't look on the thing, and it's actually from Whitestone, New York. So never mind. I guess I need to go get some local ale from Montana, which is really nice. Anyway, Paylee, this office hour, I'm going to stay on here probably, I don't know, half an hour or so answering some questions, because I do have some questions that people have already sent me that I want to go through. I just want to get some of the basic stuff out. For those of you that are DRES students, make sure you send me your letter of accommodation, because I have to put in, a special thing to get you the extra time, if you need extra time for that. So please do send that to me, so I do have that, okay? Other things. So 50 multiple choice questions on this. For those of you that are not going to be taking the multiple choice quiz, I don't know why you wouldn't. You should really do that, but we have expanded it because now the exam is from 5 until 11 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, it's not the 3-hour window; it's 6-hour window. You get a big window there, so you can do that. But I know some people. I had some professors contact me. Anyway, But I will have a convo exam on Monday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. and that's it. Those are essay exams. There's a video explaining that. I sent that out already, so you can check that out. Pretty straightforward as well. The questions, there's 5 questions, 50 points each for each question because there's 250 points on the exams. Pretty straightforward things, like what I did in the class, what I talked about in the videos. So you should be okay that way. Mia has the most important question of the night so far. I've never been to Culver's. You poor, poor person. I am so sorry. What would you recommend if I go there? So I am a double Butterburger cheese guy. So Butterburgers are there, burgers there. They just put butter on the bun and do that. They really nice, like smush down burgers. And then their go-to thing is cheese curds. So you can get a side of cheese curds. That's like their thing. And then you get their root beer. That's the way you got to go. All right. So double Butterburger cheese. So you can choose whatever topping you want on it with cheese curds and a root beer. You're welcome. It's funny. My every semester I have Italian exchange students, and I always tell them go to Culver's, and they don't go to like the last week or two of classes, and they're like, "Oh my God, why didn't we listen to you?" I'm like, "Why didn't you talk to the other Italians that come through every year?" Like this, we had the same conversation, so it is pretty funny. Let's see. Okay, so Mariah has a question. Will we be able to see our score right after we submit? You shouldn't. I asked them to make it so you don't see the grades until after the 11 o'clock when it closes, because I don't want people to be like, okay, I missed two. Which one did I maybe miss? And they could tell their friends and stuff like this, because you might not know this, but like online classes, there's apparently a lot of cheating going on. I know my students wouldn't do that because my students are wonderful people who care about their education and want to make their professor proud. But other evil students, well, they might do other things. So there is that. Let's see. Amir, the exam is not proctored. I don't feel comfortable with having a camera watching you in your room. I just find that super creepy. So I don't have that. Some questions I had, some students were asking, can we use the book or the videos to do the exam? Look, you're at home. It's your house. It's your exam. It's your computer. You do what you got to do. I just wish you would not like work with your friends because your friends are stupid and you're really smart. So they're just going to use you. So don't facilitate them in their cheating. You do the best for you, okay? Amir's double burger, butterburger cheese, nice. Let's see. So there's one on here. I think the university has good human resources. Why is it not product excellent? Cause that is bright. Ow, thanks, babe. So I'm going to go blind with this. Wow.
You can click it one more time and turn the lights down.
Yeah. Ooh. Apparently. Ooh, it could be a party. Hey. No, that's not it. There we go. I'm just gonna leave it at this. So it's gonna be like Halloween. Yay. Let's see. So in terms of human resources, why is not a product excellent? Because your human resources isn't a product you're making. Your human resources is part of your operations. Okay, you're making your company work. You're hiring the right people. That's part of the operation. Doing a better job at that. That's why that's going to be a sustainable competitive advantage in terms of operational excellence, because you're picking out better people to run the business. It's not the products you're making. So, well, gee, Professor, do you recommend watching all the videos or just the exam review? Should be adequate to go through the exam. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you just watch the exam review videos, you won't get every single question. But I did try to put a lot of videos in there that were more helpful. Like, if you're only going to watch one playlist, I would watch that playlist, okay? So that can help you out. Let's see. Me was raised in Pennsylvania. Nice. Let's see. Kind of going down. Ooh, the concrete midsler. You can't go wrong with that, Aviv. Yeah, totally, man, totally. Yes, Olivia, Culver's is the best. Kevin, you don't have a Culver's near you? I think it's time to move. Seriously, time to move, my friend. I actually saw one the other day here. We've been out of town, and where we are now, I saw we took the exit to get to our place, and I'm like, oh, there was the blue sign of love, Culver's. So yeah, it was nice to see one after a while. Max, no, the exam is not proctored. We don't have that. Julie said, Professor, can you give me a better marketing research title? I have to think about that one. Send me an email about that one. Okay, so the BCG manager. Okay, so which type of video has the STP explanation? So JG, STP is segmentation, targeting, positioning. There was only one little slide in the first chapter of the book that kind of went over that. Because usually when I do the face-to-face class, because these are exams for face-to-face classes, I spend time going over segmentation, targeting, positioning, because that's, I think, chapter 8, of the class. But there was just a review kind of thing. But just remember segmentation, targeting, positioning. That'll help you out. It's just when you divide up your market, you figure out who you're going to target, and then you position yourself so you fit. So if I want to be like the Americana restaurant, I've got to have, the American flag and cowboy boots and the Statue of Liberty in there. That's my positioning, because I'm targeting a certain group. I divide it up and say who do I want to get. So some things there. Now into the questions. The first one I want to talk about, because Aviv has asked me this one a few times, and that is the 4E framework, and Pei Li has got this one as well. And for those of you that want a more in-depth one, I have a video coming out tonight that's a redo of the 4E framework. So you look at the 4E framework of social media marketing. Basically, what you're doing is you're trying to figure out what kind of posts, what like you're trying to figure out like what should I put in a post, like what should be the theme of a post, because you can't put everything in a post. I mean, let's be honest. There's only so much you can do in 280 characters or one picture or a reel. God, I hate reels. Oh man, TikTok. Let's let TikTok survive just so Instagram reels go away. Like that's all I'm saying. Okay. Um, or now we have YouTube stories. Yay. Or YouTube shorts. Anyway. But with the 4 E's, you have excite, educate, experience, and engage. So when you want to excite clients, that first E, some things you think about is in terms of, hey, what are the what platforms are they on? Because doesn't it excite you and like, oh, my professor's on TikTok, like Steve Raquel, he's doing like TikTok videos, like, oh, isn't that cool? It's exciting you because they're on a platform that you're on, and so you want to think about it. We excite them about being on the platforms they're on. We offer them value. We offer them things that are important to them. That's why it's really important to understand your customer so that you can see is, hey, I'm going to excite them by giving them offers. Like, how can I give people offers? Oh, I give them discounts for something, right? And that can excite them. But you figure out what's going to get people to like, oh, hey, this is something interesting to me. And so you kind of think about that. Now, the educate part, sometimes you make posts just to educate people. We are located at 1605 Gregory Drive in Champaign, Illinois. Well, that is just giving you information. We are teaching you where we are. We're educating the client. So it might be looking at your value propositions. People buy our product because it tastes good. It comes in this nice bottle. It's in interesting flavors. All they're doing is talking about like the facts kind of stuff. They're telling you about the product. They're not going, oh, well, what's it like to drink the drink? Well, when you drink it, oh, look. It's so good. Oh, I feel like I'm in Sioux City enjoying life. Oh, this is amazing. It's like a stampede of flavor on my tongue. What you end up doing in the experience side is you're trying to help people experience the product. You're not telling what it is, you're helping them experience it through you. So this is what you'll see a lot of times on the exercise DVDs or the exercise commercials and stuff online, like I did P90X before and after, so then people can identify, oh, that fat guy lost all that weight. I'm a fat guy. That makes sense to me. And then you kind of live through it. And so what you'll see is a lot of times universities, like right now, we're doing all that. You've probably seen U of I's like, hey, we're number 15 public university. We're the number 9 business school. That is educate. We are number 9. We are number 15. But experience, that's like saying, oh, we're going to take Jorge Morales, one of our local students is here, and we're going to have a day in his life. And he's going to take over our Instagram feed. And so Jorge shows like what it's like living in the dorms or the apartments and what's it like eating at the Eikenberry and sitting through boring classes and what is it really like, being an online student. So you're kind of experiencing his life. And so that's the experience side of things. Okay. And then the engage is you want to get people to do something. You're trying to get actions to happen. So like if you ever see a post where they're like, hey, don't forget to click like, or hey, buy tickets now, or get your tickets at Fandango.com. That's an engagement page. You're trying to get them to do something, okay? Excuse me. And so what you'll see, like for example with movies, they'll show, they'll do different things. Like the excitement thing is like, oh, there's a new, they had the Mandalorian season 2. Like, oh, it's on YouTube. I can watch it. Like that excited me. It's something new. But then they also had part of it on their post, because sometimes you have multiple things in their post. Part of it was to educate, saying October 30th release date, right? So, oh, there it is. But then they're also having you experience the thing by showing you the highlights in the preview. So there's that. And then they're engaged. They're like, that's why they have the Disney Plus. Subscribe now. So you know that, hey, subscribe to Disney Plus to watch Mandalorian season 2. So this is that. Let's see. I always love when people complain on here. I'm like, let's see. So Aviv, does that help you with the 4 E's to give you some more stuff? So Jorge asks, can we skip questions if we don't know them and go back to them later? So what I did is I sent all 50 questions to eLearning. I'm going to guess however like quiz 4 was set up, that's how probably the exam is going to be set up, so you can do that. But there's one thing you need to remember. Make sure when you finish your exam, you go through, you have to click submit. Otherwise, you get that like spinning circle of death kind of thing that just sits there. And you're like, why don't I have a grade? What is this circle thing there? At least it shows up as a circle spinning thing to me. You want to make sure you click submit exam and you have that, okay? I thought it would auto submit. That's what I asked for, but we'll see. So do click submit so we have that, all right? Let's see. Do-do-do-do. Sean, we did not have any extra credit videos for this semester. Don't worry about it. So Ryan Silver. So Ryan Silver is asking, what's an example of a focus strategy? So better to know differentiation and cost leadership right now. Um, but based on what happens with a focus, you can have focus differentiation or focus cost leadership. Basically, the focus is you're only focused on one group. Like Kids Gap is only focusing on kids close. That's the focus of it. And Gap Kids is actually focus differentiation because they have kind of like nicer clothes, nicer design, higher prices, right? So people pay more for it, but they're focusing just on kids in that higher price range. Okay, so I hope that can help you out a little bit. Um, Okay, here's no Walmart has low prices because it have really good supply chain. Why is it not a sustainable competitive advantage? Okay, so I'm going to guess you're talking about the question from the exam asking why low prices are the easiest one to kind of mimic or catch up to in sustainable competitive advantage. It's the easiest because think about it. If you are loyal to a price, are you loyal to Walmart? Are you loyal to Target? Are you loyal to Aldi? No, you're loyal to the lowest price. And therefore, that sustainable competitive advantage, hey, if someone else matches that price, they're going to go there. And so that's why it takes time, but that would be the easiest one to get because Target has spent years and years and years to build up their reputation that you walk into Target for nothing and you spend 150 bucks, right? And so whereas Walmart, you go in like I'm going in for that one thing. It's a very different kind of experience because that's what you're doing. Okay, so in terms of this, don't think of that. The supply chain is hard to match. I'll give you that one. But I wasn't talking about supply chains. I'm talking about low prices because low prices, hey, people can have a sale. I mean, you can have. We'll talk about this later in the semester. It's called a loss leader pricing. And so what you're doing is you're going to take a loss on a price, which you're not on a product, which you're not supposed to do. But you'll take that loss just to bring people in the store. Think of those Black Friday deals after Thanksgiving. Do you think they can sell 700-inch TVs for $5? No. But if they have that low price, it drives people into the store and then they buy. And so, hey, we have to think about that. Let's see. Next one. Let's see. So Stella wants to know about STP. That's segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Segmentation is dividing up your group. So like if I segment up my class, I might have, I have GE students, or I should say I have business majors, I have business minors, and I have students that the class is required for graduation. So there's some, like my advertising students who are awesome. My engineering students, they have to take this. And so I might segment it up, divide it up that way, right? So there'll be different stuff. And then when I look at targeting, then I might say, who do I want to talk to most? So, for example, back in the day, pre-COVID, I did all these study abroad programs, and they used to have this rule that study abroad programs with GEs could only have GE students. So, I was like, okay, I got to divide my students up: GE students and non-GE students, and then I want to target GE students for my study abroad program. And then if I want to target those students, the P is position. How do I position the study abroad program so it's something they would like? So I would do like Spain and Italy and Portugal, like, warm weather, good food, fun times, lots of fun. You kind of do that. So that's the STP: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So I hope that helps. So Barry Boo, where can I find the exam? Exam 1, exam 2? Up here. You go to professorwolters.com. And I go that on there. I have both the videos that I go over the first and second practice exams on there, and I go through the answers and I explain the answers, so it's a little bit easier to like instead of just being like, 24 is A. It's like 24 is A because of this. And here's another way I could ask that question. So we have that. You're welcome, Ryan. Okay, JG, can you please give examples of each of the Bcg quadrants? For those of you wondering about the Boston Consulting Group matrix, okay, this is in the two exams that I have. I think I actually had a big write up. And this one I don't have the big write up in this exam. I have like individual questions about it. Okay, so it's not quite like that. But what you do in this is you have what's called a portfolio of products. If you look at Sony, they've got their they got their TVs, they have their mobile phones, they've got PlayStation, they've got their PS Vitas, they have all these different products, right? And so what we want to do is look at our portfolio and see who's doing well, who's doing poorly, which one are we making money for, where should we invest, these kind of things. And so what you do is you divide it up on two categories. Okay, on the up and down axis, you have industry growth. Okay, so how big is that industry growing? It's not your product, it's the industry overall. How much is it growing? Is it like super fast, like tablets in 2010, or is it low? Like now, there's the tablet market's not really growing very much. And then on the bottom, going from side to side, you have market share. Are you a big time market player or are you a small time player? And here's the thing: if it's a new product, you're a small player because you just came out. Okay. Now, what we do in the four quadrants, I'm going to start in the bottom, the low market share and low growth. So it's low market share, so you're a small time player, and it's low growth, so there's not a good future for it. They call that a dog, okay? Because the dog is the one, you're like, oh, things are going bad. That's the part of the company they kick out first. Okay, oh, things aren't doing well. We're not going to invest money there. We're just going to let it go. Okay. Now, there's some strategy we can look at that, but that's a higher level course. But that's the first one. Now, let's say it's an industry that's super like fast growing, like we've got to get into this, let's put something in there. So you're a small time player with this new product, but it's in a fast growing industry. That is called a question mark. Okay, and the question marks, they could become stars. It could be going really well for you, or it could crash down. We don't know. And so what we start to look at here is, hey, this is something we might want to invest in. So you see companies like for example, Microsoft did this with Xbox. When they first came out, they saw, look, console gaming is growing. Let's start out. So it was like a small time player. Then it took off and turned into a star for them. Like, hey, we're doing pretty well with this, right? I mean, now it's more of a cash cow, but things kind of move around. And so another company, Nokia, like Nokia made wood products. And then they said, we should try these mobile phone things. And it was a question mark, and it took off. And this high growth, high market share thing, it's called a star, because this is where you're making tons of cash, more and more cash. It's growing. And so you're throwing money at this thing to keep it going. And so, like, this is fantastic for us. The thing is, stars eventually burn out. It's like, look, think iPads in 2011 or 12, right? And now the growth's gone down. Or iPhones in 2008, like, or 10, or now it's come down somewhat. What we start to see is eventually when that growth comes down, but if we're still a big market player, that's called a cash cow. And the thing is we're a big time player. It's not really a fast growing industry. Think of like red can Coca-Cola. What? 1 or 2% growth rate, but we're a huge player, so we got a lot of cash. So we can throw money at like, specialty sodas or the water, the vitamin water industry is huge and growing. We do there. And so you have these things. Okay. So I hope that helps you understand the 4 different quadrants to help you out. Okay. Let's see. Brandon, there'll be 50 questions. Oh, I see they got that one. Thanks, Amir. You have a good one, too. Okay, so Paley has a question. I just did a Sona research, congratulations, and it said I received 1 credit, still need 6 more credits. What's that mean? I still need 6 to receive extra credit. So Paley, for every single Sona experiment you do, you get 0.5% added onto your final grade, and we let you think of it this way: each credit you get from there is worth 0.5% of your final grade. So you can do 6 of them and earn 3% onto your final grade. Okay. Now, when they're saying you still need 6 more credits, you might have actually signed up and given points to a different class. So make sure you assign your points, your Sona experiment points, to 320, because if you have other classes that do the Sona experiments, that could be on there. And if you're like in psychology, they also use Sona, and you might be doing psychology ones, and they don't give us the points back for that. So you got to make sure you're in the BADM one. Okay. So when you log on to do Sona, like new browser, new everything, get that link I sent out to you all, put that in and sign in that way to make sure you're there. Okay. So I hope that can help. Max Brunstein, any insight on studying abroad in the spring? Man, I don't think it's going to happen. Breaks my heart. I honestly don't see. I mean, I love traveling, but I have a feeling that Wolters World will be filming domestically probably till spring break. And I don't think the university is going to be willing. The university might be okay with students going abroad, but the problem is there's not a lot of places that U.S. students can actually go. So right now, I think study abroad's toast for this year. There are some like virtual internships you could try to do to get some kind of stuff. Or there's some things like, for me, I'm doing a course next summer term, which would have been in Vienna. We did it in Vienna the last couple of years, but we had to do it online. And so you'd have a class with international students in Vienna, but it's all online. Like, it sucks. I know I've already talked to the study abroad office, and right now we're looking at my first, because I take students every year, and I think the next time I'll be able to take students is maybe, for me, will be maybe January 2022. So my sophomores out there, hey, we can go, and junior, maybe junior, yeah, juniors, maybe, yeah, you'd be seniors. So I think we'll do like Italy or Spain or Portugal, something like fun and full of food and vino. So we'll have a good time. Let's see. So Mariah asks, can we go back and forth between questions? However, the quizzes have been, like quiz 4, however that was, I'm gonna guess that's how the exam will show up. Because what happens is I send them my 50 questions to e-learning, and then they put the exam together, and I just get the number, and I have to go back through it later to see what's there. But I don't know. And for those of you that think you're going to sit next to your buddy and answer the questions that way, they mix the questions, they mix the answers. So hint, hint, hint. Don't just copy ABC off your buddy. Okay, so be careful. I'm not that you would, not that you would, because my students are the best and they don't do things like that. But you know, let's see. A small player in a growing industry means that it is still growing, right? Okay, so Sean, when I'm talking about a growing market, meaning it's a growing industry, your like your market share is your smallness, but the industry is growing high. Hey, yeah. So a small player in a growing market would be a question mark. Okay. Caleb Griffin, can you talk about invest, divest, or drop? Okay, so this is from the GE McKinsey matrix, and what you're looking at is there's 2 criteria. One, you look at industry attractiveness, like is it a sexy industry? What makes an industry sexy? The money it makes, the market size, the potential, these kind of things make it sexy. And then you look at your SBU, small business unit, okay? And so you might have a great company, but it's divided up in small business units. And you might see that some business units are doing well and some are doing poorly. And so you have to evaluate your small business unit. Is it doing well? Is it important to us? Is it growing? Or is it something that's not really going to work anymore? You do that. And so you kind of relate to these things. You see, hey, it's really, really a sexy industry, and this is a really good like SBU for us. Then, of course, you're going to invest. But let's say, well, it's a medium for us, and it's a medium industry. What do we do? Well, you're not going to invest a lot into it, right? And you're not going to cut it off because it's still doing okay. So you'll do a hold, right? But let's say you have a product like it's an SBU. It's it's okay, but the industry is just in the tank. You're like, you know what? It's not worth it. We're going to divest this and we'll put our money someplace else. So I hope that can help you out a little bit. Let's see. I got to scroll back up here. Can you talk about? I got that one. Yeah, Sean, growth's still high. But remember, it's growth of industry. JG, does BADM 320 do James Scholar projects for the James Scholar credit? Why, yes, we do. And it is the Save the World project. If you look in the syllabus, I know some people don't know there's a syllabus in this class because there's like 150 people that didn't do the syllabus quiz. I might reopen that next week. I don't know, because don't throw away your grade like that. But it's the 7 to 10 page paper you do, marketing project you do for a nonprofit organization. So if you're an RSO and you help out some group, or maybe you worked at your local food shelter or food bank, you can do a marketing project for them. You're doing like a SWOT analysis, key success factors for them, analyze their social media. It's 7 to 10 pages. It's pretty straightforward. And after this exam, you've covered all the stuff that I want you to do, but it gives you a chance to like work with a real company. You don't have to work. You can just make the project and send it to them, but you need to send it to me too. And what's cool is you'll get the James Scholar credit, and you get the 3% extra credit added on your final grade. So you don't have to do the SONA experiments. You automatically get that because you're using your business knowledge to help out a nonprofit, and that's one thing I think is really great, and students can really do a good job at that. So there's that there. So JG, hope that helps out. Let's see. You're welcome, Mariah. Macy's has a good uniform and make customer more satisfaction. Why is it not a focus strategy? I think it's focused on the good customer service. Because what I'm talking about here is differentiation. They're making it special to be there. Focus is when you're focused on one specific thing. I understand your point about the customers, but think of it this way. The answer is going to be differentiation or cost leadership. Because what you'll have is there's focus differentiation and there's focus cost leadership. And so you got to be careful with that, because focus is like the GAPS kid, focus differentiation. We're focusing just on kids with really specialty products. But that question, how it was written, differentiation is the best answer. Let's see. Brennan asks, will some have more time spots available as it goes? I have 2 credits so far, but these days all time slots to be full. Yeah, they keep going. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of the professors are a little slow getting their projects in. So you might see there'll be like a bunch showing up randomly throughout the semester, especially towards the end. And towards the end, some students are like, I know where my grade is. I don't want to do it. So there's some open up there. But anytime you can do them, just do them and get them out of the way, because I cannot guarantee you'll get a chance to do all 6. That's why I'm saying, like, look, do that Save the World project. You don't have to worry about it. Help out a local nonprofit. And it can be local in Champaign. It can be a local in your hometown. It's no problem. Alex Flores can't hear me, so speak up. I don't know what I can do. Let's see. Aviv. Let's see. Zachary, I don't know why this popped up in my recommended form, but you seem like an awesome professor, teacher. Thanks, Zachary. I don't know why it's there either. Probably because if you're taking like a business course or something, it might be showing up there. I don't know. And thank you for being nice, because I had to block a few other ones that came through because they're like, no, you're not putting, you're not saying that. So it's pretty funny. Let's see. Oh, Alyssa, thank you so much. I hope you're doing good. Thank you, Mark Finley. So Javier, what's the main difference between the performance measure of CPM and negotiated? So Javier, I'm going to go through all 4, okay? Just so we can, it's easier to kind of go through them one by one. Okay, so the first one you have, this is one you see a ton. Ever wondered why when you click on those lists, hey, these are your favorite Disney stars of yesterday. What do they look like now? You'll never believe what number 7 looks like. And you click on one, and then you have to click on number 2, and it opens up another window. And you click on it, and it goes to another window. The reason they're doing that, they're using CPM, cost per thousand. It's cost per mil means 1,000. And what happens here is basically the ads are set up that, hey, you know what? If for every 1,000 impressions my ad gets on your website, I'll give you $10. But it's because it's based on impressions. For every 1,000 impressions, you're going to pay them a certain amount. Okay, that's why those websites have you click through so many things, because they get more impressions, so they can make some more money. Okay, that is 100% why it's there. I mean, how many of you actually get to the 7th Disney princess? You don't. You get to the 3rd one, you're like, I'm tired of clicking. So you have that. So that's CPM. Now the next one down is called CPC, cost per click. And this is one where you pay people like this. It's like, hey, put my ad on your website, and every time someone clicks on the ad, I'll give you $5. So your cost per click, you're paying for the clicks, okay? And so you're going to pay that way. Of course, doing this means you're going to have to you have to track it more. You both have to trust each other, because it could be like, that didn't come from my website, or I said that did come from my website. Where's my money? You have these things. And then you have CPA. This is cost per action. This is what you'll see. Ever wonder why all your friends have Amazon links on their website? It's because Amazon used to be great. Now they kind of suck for affiliate marketing. But it was like, hey, if someone buys a product off your website, we'll give you 3% of the sale. Like, oh, so cost per action for every sale that's generated from your website, we're going to pay you 3% or $10 or whatever. So that's CPM, just the impressions, right? CPC, cost per click, we're going to pay you for the clicks. CPA, we're going to pay for a specific action, okay? And then you have what's called a negotiated one. And the negotiated one is, I mean, I know these other ones can sound like they're negotiated, but technically the negotiated one is where they come in like, look, your website's small, you focus just on tourism in Barcelona, we're the Barcelona card, we'll give you $500 to put on your website. We're not dictating like buys, we're not dictating clicks, we're not dictating impressions, we're just saying, look, $500 I'll put on your site. Okay, so you negotiate on that. And you see that a lot with like smaller websites, because it's kind of like, you know, we'll pay you this. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. Let's see. Sorry, I have to hide some people from the channel because they're being naughty. So Janessa, when is the test? The test's on Thursday from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., but it's only 80 minutes, so you get to take it anytime during then. And the combo exam is on Monday, but 50 multiple choice is on Thursday, and then the essay exams are on Monday. Okay. The exam's about marketing. I see. Oh, wow. There's a lot of them that had to be hidden from here. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Anybody that watches my channels know that we don't talk politics no matter what. It's about travel or it's about business, so we're trying to help out. So Paley has a question. When the Stone experiments will be added to the grade book? So the Stone experiments, I have no access to them. So what will happen, you can do Stone experiments through the end of, through the end, I think it's through reading day, so like December 10th maybe? Whenever reading day is, that's the last day to do them. And then about 5 days later, 6 days later, like halfway through the finals, they send me the like an Excel spreadsheet, and it's like Haley did 3, and Mark Wolters did 5, and John did 6. And so what I end up having to do is like go through and put all 1,100 people in, so we have that. Okay, and so that will show up probably around the final, so you have that. So still confused how to know market share is high or low. If you're a small time player, if you're new to the market, you're not going to be big. I'll make it very obvious how it's there. I can't really help you on that anymore. Okay, it says if it's big or not. Max, there is a study guide if you go to professorwolters.com, and I have a playlist of quick videos to watch, and the practice exams are there. It's where I go through them, so you have that. Otherwise, the practice exams are in the back of the book. Later, Javier, hope you're doing well. Would you say reviewing and doing the practice after the book should be fair game? Monica, I would say watching the videos and doing the practice exam and reading the slides, like how you would study for any exam, is the best way to do it. So there is that. Let's see. Later, Brandon. Thank you for all the questions, buddy. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, it happens, man. You step away for 1 second. I actually hadn't scrolled down. I was trying to answer a question, and it was just like tons and tons of trolls. This is why I don't do these on Walter's World. Because, like, why are you talking about business? You should be talking travel. Let's see. Later, Javier. I hope this helped out. Let's see. Janessa, I did not go to whatever school everyone here is at. They're at the University of North, Janessa. Yes, so don't worry about it. So Aisha says, I'm on your website. I see it says study guide, but the only thing there are videos explaining concepts. Is there a question study guide that helps practice questions for the exam? So Aisha, if you go into the video, it says like exam 1, study guide, exam 2, like click on that top blog and you'll go there, and I go through each question of the exam. So like the first one's the 2014, I go through question by question. What's the question, what the answer is, why I would choose that, what are some other things. So it goes into more in-depth explanation, just giving you ABC. So just watch that. Remember, you can put it at double time, so it's like not 26 minutes long, it's 23, it's 13. So it can go a lot faster. So there is that. Let's see. You're welcome, Mariah. You're welcome, Monica. So Rapturous, I don't know why this showed up in your recommendations. Are you like a business student or something like that? I'm gonna guess that's there, but you know, it's YouTube gives you recommendations based on what you watch. So you've probably been watching some business stuff or some random fat guy videos. I don't know. So that's up to you. Maybe you should rethink your choices. Just kidding. Let's see. Okay, Sean, not a class question, but do you have any recommendation for newcomers in the CU area? Best burger in town is Farron's. Get the Russell. It is a burger with bacon and like a blue cheese crumble sauce on top. Fantastic. They make really good chips as well, like homemade like potato chips kind of stuff. They're good. If you want, let's see. If you're looking for airports, don't think Champagne's your only one. We actually fly out of Bloomington all the time because Delta and American's there, and there's also Frontier and Allegiant, so you have other options. And Indy is another good place to go because you get really cheap flights out of there. It's a 2-hour drive from Champaign to the airport, and I think it's faster to check in and get through security in Indianapolis than it is in Champaign. What else? Go to Curtis Orchard and go pick some apples and get some of the apple donuts that are there. Super awesome. Yes, Vexology, this is a class. We're going over an exam and stuff. Paley, there is a Culver's near campus. There's one on University by Carl if you're on the North Campus. If you're on the South Campus, there's one by Neil and Windsor out there. So there's that. Felipe, meu amigo brasileiro, tudo bem? Fique bem, meu amigo. Yeah, JG, yeah, the practice exam videos links are in Compass, or just go to professorwolters.com, and I have them all there in the very first blog. Just click on the first blog, it's there. Also, I've sent out announcements like 5 times with all the stuff. So, um, no, Kevin, I haven't watched The Social Dilemma. I've got 2 kids, 3 YouTube channels, and trying to teach at the best school in the country. My time is very limited, so I have not got there yet. That's what summer's for. So only like 9 more months, and I can watch it. But you can always send me an email and let me know what it's like. Let's see. Oh, Shoka, thank you very much. Oh yeah, JG recommends Watson for good chicken food. Yeah, they have their wings are actually really good. They're not like the over insane like HMO, GMO like wings. They're like small wings, but they're super tasty. Really nice, decent Southern food there. Um, Zoe, I'm glad the class it looks pretty good even if you're not in the class. I appreciate it. So Josh is asking, why are you streaming class on YouTube? People can mess it up. People can mess it up anywhere. This way, I don't have to worry about like your roommate walking behind and flashing us, or somebody hopping on and taking it over. Yeah, there's some people that'll be stupid on here and trolls, which is part of life. This is just an easier way to get out there. Also, Compass and Zoom for me, I think they kind of suck. I prefer this way, and so this way I can talk to my students and I can be out there, and I always like to be able to share information with people, so that's why I use that. Let's see. Oh yes, it's in England, Oxford. Oh, I love Oxford. I had such a good time there. Good time to take me back to my college days. Wow, that was a long time ago. um, let's see. Later, Wajid. I'm glad I could help out. So, asking, how can I have more practice questions? Yeah, I think 100 practice exam questions. It's pretty helpful. Not much else I can do. You can think in your mind, how would my professor make a question out of this topic, out of this slide? Ha! Look, this isn't rocket science class. You'll be okay. I do everything I can to help you out. Let's see. Olivia, thanks for explaining the 4E. I understand my question was rather specific, and other questions need to be answered. I helped out as much as I can with that one. Let's see. Haley, how many countries have you all been to? So my youngest, I think he's at 45 or 47. My oldest son, he's at 50 countries. My wife's in the 60s, and I'm in the 70s. Shooting my goal, I wanted to get my kids to 100 countries before they leave me for college or trade school or whatever. But damn, COVID has put a hamper on our plans. But whatever. So we get around a little bit. Let's see. Later, Kevin. I hope I can help you out. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate the kind words. Let's see. Later, Kevin. Claire, I'm glad we can help. Oh, Claire, hey, how you been? Glad I can help out. Of course, I like Star Wars. I'm from the age where all we had when I was a little kid was Star Wars toys. Like when I became a kid, till I got my own toys. My brother, who's older, and his friends who were older, all had Star Wars stuff. So they kind of got like, aged out of Star Wars. But they're like, oh, new little kid who can get all the Star Wars. So I would get a lot of Star Wars gifts for my birthday and for Christmas. I might not have asked for them, but it was kind of like, Mark can get them, and then we can play with them. So it's kind of funny. Later, Cole. Have a good night. Yeah, the 4Ps kind of go all over the place. Emma, the average on the first exam over the last, so I've been doing this class 9 years, 8 or 9 years. The first exam is usually about a 91. Second exam usually drops to like a high 80s. And then the third exam is all over the place. So usually like high 80s to low 90s. So like the grade's usually really good. And then what you have is, since most people do the SONA experiments or do the Save the World, so they get that 3% added on. So usually the grades are pretty good in the class just because there's so much extra stuff you can get. Rose red, violets are blue. General Grievous is coming for you. Nice. Hey, Rosemary, good to see you. I'm old as dirt. I'm old as dirt, don't worry. I teach marketing. All right, so it seems like my students are out of here. So Monica asks, how are you able to go on these trips? I'm a college professor, so we have college student scheduling. So we have summers and winters off and stuff like that. Anyway, any other last minute questions from anybody out here? I want to thank Mark Finley for helping me with some of these troublemakers. Let's see. Okay, I got a couple more here. I'll get after that. So Paley, yes, the exam 2 is harder because it has 6 topics instead of 4, so it's just the amount of stuff you have to have. And the third exam, I think people do worse because by the end of the semester they're kind of like, it's the end, I don't care. They kind of check out. So it's not that it gets harder, it's just that they just stop caring. So there's that. But there was the STP, segmentation, targeting, positioning. As segmentation, you divide up your market. Target is when you target which of these segments, these parts of the market I'm gonna go for, and then the P is positioning. How am I gonna make myself look to that group? Okay, so and if you look up segmentation model, we have a video from the future one because this is something I just talked about briefly. It's in a slide in the first thing. Rosemary, good luck with your digital design course. You're welcome, Emma. You're welcome, Paul. Nothing wrong with homosexuality. People like that make me sick. That harass people for those things. We love who we love, and that's how it is. See, sometimes the trolls do get you when they're worthless POSs like that guy. Anyway, let's see. You're welcome, Max. All right, I'm gonna take off. My students, if you have other questions, remember you can at Wolters World on Instagram, at Wolters World on Twitter, or you can send me a direct email and I will get you there. But after an hour here, I think we're doing good. Oh, Sean wanted the AT&T thing. We'll finish off with the AT&T. So basically, the AT&T dead zones, that's a place thing because all the place is about delivering value, delivering your product, and delivering the mobile phone service isn't happening when you have a dead zone. So that's why the dead zone would focus in the place thing. We're not delivering the value. We're not delivering our product like we're supposed to. So Sean, that's why it fits in there. Anyway, I wish you all great. Thank you, Mark. You have a great week too. And I will sign off. And thank you, everybody. And good luck on the exam to all my students. And wish you all the best. And until next time, my friends, have a great night. Bye.